Live, back with another one. So we're going to talk about this confirmed matchup with Dustin Poirier and Islam Makhachev. But also, I'm going to give you my final thoughts on WrestleMania 40. Now, here's a matchup that I really didn't talk about in WrestleMania 40, which took place with Sami Zayn and his opponent Gunter, right? And I believe Gunter, from my absence of not watching WWE for a long time, sort of was the Intercontinental Champion at a record rate, right? He held the title for a very long time, and Sami Zayn sort of had this rocky story going on into that fight. He had somebody train him, and he was saying something to the effect of, well, I'm afraid, or this and that, and then he had a whole Rocky type of theme story. He had a shirt after he won where he says, hey, Khadijah, I did it, rather than Adrian. So it's sort of one of these references to Rocky and the fact that it was in Philadelphia. But I gotta tell you, right? Here's one thing I do love about the current WWE regime now that Vince is gone from the company. For one, they're now allowing Sami Zayn to sort of display his Arab heritage to the world instead of sort of depicting him as this ginger Anglo-Canadian. Now, obviously, yes, he's ginger, but he's a Syrian Arab man, and by the way, more importantly, a practicing Muslim at that. So I honestly believe Vince McMahon, in my humble opinion, is geographically challenged. Okay, he had a Samoans play a Japanese role. You remember Yokozuna? And then he had Muhammad Hassan, who, by the way, was depicted as an Arab American, who, by the way, was really an Italian man. And Muhammad Hassan also had this Persian guy with him who spoke Persian as if Muhammad Hassan needed a translator while he spoke perfect English. So with that, I'm surprised that Vince McMahon didn't Kurt Cobain himself while the rest of the world was enjoying in WrestleMania. By the way, a product that is way better now that he is no longer in charge, right? Now, I understand that Vince McMahon created WrestleMania and it was his baby. He was the one that revolutionized the wrestling game. But at some point, the accomplishments that you've made in whatever field that you do sort of surpasses the reality of who you are as a person. In other words, put it like this. You guys know Everlast, the singer who made the song Jump Around, right? He once said that he went to a bar and a random people can hear the song Jump Around, but he's there and nobody knows that it's him. What did Everlast say as a result of that? He said, well, you know what? This song is now it belongs to the universe, just like the WWE. Even though Vince McMahon created it, it's no longer him that really owns it. It belongs to the universe, or in this case, the WWE universe. So there is a lot of interesting matchups, a lot of interesting storylines that went into WWE's WrestleMania 40, and I just wanted to give my final thoughts on that, but also talk about Dustin Poirier and Islam Makhachev potentially facing off. Now, this right here is going to be an interesting matchup. I have more details on this specific matter, which, by the way, is going to run, and it's going to start right around 8 p.m. 8 a.m., I'm sorry, 8 a.m. Western time, specifically out here in California. So I urge you guys to check out that video that's going to premiere more than likely a little over 20 minutes from now. Okay, it's basically Islam Makhachev and Dustin Poirier, and the technical and psychological breakdown of Dustin Poirier and Islam Makhachev, which is going to take place sometime around 20 minutes after the stream ends. But I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I'm also going to talk about UFC 300 and what is significant about this particular fight week and what to expect. By the way, a sleeper of a card. I understand that it's one of those 300 centennial cards that, quite frankly, did not live up to the expectations of, let's say, the promotion or the card that we all wanted, because we wanted Godzilla versus King Kong. We wanted Marvel Comics versus DC. We wanted Spider-Man versus Superman, and the list goes on. The reality is that's not what we have. What we have are matchups that are compelling. They have a storyline that's unique to its own perspective, but also, I think, a sleeper of a card that a lot of people are just going to underestimate for a couple of different reasons. For one, obviously, Jamal Hill, not exactly the biggest superstar in the world in this current moment of time. But after this weekend, in all great honesty, it could potentially be that he's going to be a big superstar based on the performance that he's going to put on. Now, I've said this over and over again. I think a lot of people are underestimating Jamal Hill because all they see him do is strike. And what is it that El-Kheer does best? Obviously, a world champion level kickboxer, okay? And he's won a lot of MMA fights based on his striking prowess. So one thinks that, well, Jamal Hill is not going to have a chance, especially if he just wants to stand and bang with El-Kheer. Well, not so fast. You have to understand, MMA striking is way different than kickboxing striking, and this is the reason why I think that this particular fight is going to lend itself to a potential upset. Other potential upsets that go into this potential fight also sort of deal with someone like Charles Oliveira. Hill wins. K-Man1213 says, yeah, Hill, I'm telling you, I'm not going to be surprised if he wins, my man. I'm telling you, I completely agree with you because MMA striking is completely different than regular striking in terms of conventional boxing or kickboxing, which is what El-Kheer offers. Now, this is MMA, smaller gloves. So that means you're dealing with a completely different situation at hand. So that means Jamal Hill has a great chance of winning this fight. We can't underestimate him. Also, another former champion that we can't underestimate is Charles Oliveira. Now, I know Islam Makhachev fought Sarukian in his first fight. K-Man says here, I think he will catch Pereira with something awkward and finish him with a ground and pound. You know what? I tell you what, man. If that's the case, I'm going to shout you out in my post-fight, and I'm going to remember your name. So just don't forget to subscribe, okay? So this way I could look up your screen name or your channel name so that I could shout you out if that's the case. Because you know what? I thought that to myself too. But I think now that you're the one that said it before I did, I'll give you the props for it, even though I think the same way. Or that maybe you just influence me to think that way, to be quite honest with you. But hey, this is what you're going to get out of this channel. You're not going to get any fake bravado out of me. You're going to get realism out of me, right? A lot of other channels out there, they like to put up this fake bravado and whatnot. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to give you the real stuff and give you my real perspective and the truth. So help me God, help me Allah. You know, so K-Man, you're absolutely on the money on that, right? You got to understand that this particular fight can lend itself to a lot of different scenarios. For one, El-Kheer makes a lot of mistakes. In MMA, you can't afford to make mistakes. So as a result of not being able to make any mistakes, here's something you have to understand, okay? You have to understand that by making mistakes in smaller gloves, it really lends itself to opportunities for Jamal Hill. Okay, now Jamal Hill's never been knocked out. He's been submitted by, what's his name? The Scottish guy, Paul Craig, right? Who, by the way, looks like the UFC version of Drew McIntyre. Speaking of Drew McIntyre, how about that little beef that he has going on with CM Punk? While we're in the subject of former UFC alumni, I think that's quite an interesting storyline. But yeah, I see a little bit of the same dynamics with Paul Craig and what's his name? Drew McIntyre. Maybe because they're both Scottish. I don't know. They both sound the same. But Paul Craig is a submission artist, and that is not what El-Kheer does, so he's not going to present these problems to Jamal Hill in the way that Paul Craig snapped his arm off with an armbar. So as a result, guess what? I think we're in a situation right now where there could be some real potential problems for El-Kheer because you have to knock out Jamal Hill. You're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to submit him because, quite frankly, he's just not that good. Yeah, but Pereira is a different animal. He also cracks differently. Sure, this is why this fight is highly underestimated. And by the way, guys, don't forget to not underestimate my channel by liking and subscribing so that this way the visibility of this channel goes up. So don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. By the way, also after this particular video or this live stream that I'm doing with you guys, I have a video coming out where I break down the psychological differences between Dustin Poirier and Islam Makhachev. Now, I got to tell you, if you guys are easily offended, don't watch it, because I break down a lot of situations that deal with, let's say, religious lifestyles and how that's going to lend itself to a successful training camp. So I urge you not to watch that video that's coming out on 8 a.m. if you guys are highly sensitive when it comes to certain topics like that. So I'm going to give you a little preview on that video that is going to be uploaded 8 a.m., which is 15 minutes from now, of what I said. Basically, Muslim fighters don't have the same problem as non-Muslim fighters. And I urge you to check out that video on 8 a.m. that is going to be uploaded and that is currently being premiered. Well, it's going to premiere at 8 a.m. Pretty soon. So subscription added and stream liked. All right. Awesome, my man. Thank you. How do you pronounce your name? Rahibil Magawaza. Where are you from, my man? Let me know where you're from. Everybody, tap in and let me know on a comment section where you guys are from. I love people around the world. I've had some people come and tap in here with me from Australia, from Ukraine. I had people from around the United States, obviously, tap in because that's where I'm currently located in sunny California. South Africa. How about that? We got some South Africans in the chat right now. Are you a fan of Dricus du Plessis, or are you more of an Israel Adesanya fan? By the way, I did a video regarding your country. It's on the live stream section of my channel, and it talks about the fight between Israel Adesanya and Dricus du Plessis, while I also break down the history of South Africa, which I think you're going to be very intrigued by when you tap into that particular video that I have. So shout outs to South Africa. Everybody give a warm welcome to our South African brothers. I was born in Africa as well. If you want to consider it Africa, I was born in Libya and whatnot. So yeah, be sure to, be sure to check that out. Also, check out the live video that I did. Yes, Dricus is my boy. We're actually in the same suburb. Wow, how about that? New York, good to see you this morning, brother. Hiya, buddy. Yes. One of the regulars on the chat. Good to see you as well, my man. So we got South Africa, we got New York, and we're going to try to get England, London up in here because I got a few followers in England as well. By the way, speaking of which, if you guys like British boxing or boxing in general, I did a live stream yesterday with Zain Musa Boxing Dosage. Go check him out, right? This brother right here is affiliated with Hamza Shiraz, an up-and-coming Pakistani British boxer who is compared to Tommy Hearns, right? So if you like boxing content as well, check him out. I also do boxing content as well. I think you guys are going to love this particular chat that we did. We talk about his promotion with Frank Warren, the origins of Frank Warren, his gangster past, and things of that nature. So we go over a little bit of everything in this channel. We also talk about geopolitics mixed in with MMA, because guess what? You can't talk about MMA without talking about geopolitics. For example, how can you correlate anything with Khamzat Chimaev not being able to come to the United States? Right? This guy he can't come to the United States because guess what? Look who he's affiliated with. He's affiliated with Ramzan Kadyrov, and for some strange reason, this right here is a no-no for the U.S. State Treasury Department. But I don't know why. Khamzat brings up a lot of money. Imagine a big fight with Khamzat Chimaev and the winner of Dricus du Plessis and Israel Adesanya in Las Vegas. And by the way, shout out to our South African brother who was watching here, who says he lives in the same suburb as Dricus du Plessis. Do you see him train in your parts, Magawaza? Let me know if you see Dricus du Plessis around your neighborhood in the chat section. Thank you for tapping in. And by the way, guys, if you guys just tapped in, don't forget to like and subscribe. Help this channel grow. I also have a video coming out at 8 a.m. I know I'm going to be saying it over and over again, but with new people coming in, I just got to let you guys know so that this channel could raise up. It is called Islam Makhachev versus Dustin Poirier, the psychological and technical breakdown. Those are a few things that I can offer in this channel that other channels can't. Other channels will just talk about the kicks and the punches, which, by the way, to a lot of casuals may be boring. But guess what? If you like boring and you like the technical aspects, I can do that too. Because I've trained with some of the best fighters in the world. Out here with Team Alpha Male in Sacramento and elsewhere around the Sacramento area with some of the most high-level amateur Muay Thai kickboxing that was available to me during my time of when I competed around 2010 all the way till on. So those are some of the things that I can offer. I've also traveled around the world. I have experience with things that deal with geopolitics, whether that would be military or foreign affairs. So guess what? These are things that I can offer you mixed in with mixed martial arts. This is something that MMA Guru can't offer you, what the Weasel can't offer you, what any of those other channels that just talk about a one-dimensional side of MMA can't offer you. I also talk about the business side of mixed martial arts, which also consists of fighter pay. I have some videos on that particular matter regarding those subjects. I urge you guys to check that out. A whole bunch of range of subjects, not really know where he trains at from what I've seen when he is on down here just around the hood. Okay, so you know what? I also talk about in that particular video with Israel Adesanya and Dricus du Plessis a preview for their fight. By the way, it's on the live stream section of my video. I also talk about how dangerous South Africa is. Michael Bisping once did a tour in South Africa, which I believe he was doing for a UFC campaign as a commentator. And while he was down there, I believe he got into it with a few guys and they threatened to stab him or something, right? And as you know, South Africa could potentially be very dangerous for, let's say, somebody that is, not somebody that looks like Israel Adesanya per se, right? So this is something you guys have to take into consideration. So with that in mind, I think you guys have to understand that South Africa, being that the history that it has, it's really going to lend itself into such big fight with Israel Adesanya. It really is going to lend itself in a situation where, you know what, it's going to be used as, let's say, a news coverage, right? And people are going to debate about the history of South Africa, the debates of reparation. Obviously, you guys know that there's a debates of reparation when it comes to slavery here in the United States. And obviously, that's also a big part of South Africans' culture. By the way, guys, I'm going to be going soon. I have about 3 minutes left into this particular stream. And I'm going to wait until, let's say, we have our video uploaded soon. So I'm going to be going soon and whatnot. So one more thing that I'm going to talk about before I leave is that you guys have to understand, UFC 300 is going to be a fight that is going to cause a lot of upsets, right? And as a result of causing all the upsets, I think that the results are really going to be surprising for many people. All the different matchups that are there. Also, I wanted to talk about WWE and the new era that you have going on in the WWE in the current moment of time. What you have going on with the WWE in the current moment of time right now is a regime change. Also, that correlates with the UFC because guess what? TKO Company is a company that is owned by both the UFC and the WWE. Yeah, true that. Especially when you stand out and act differently, you should always, what did the brother here say? You should always act and try to blend in. Izzy can slit in just fine, but there are certain areas where you just where it's just not a go-to. Yeah, so I talk about that in the video as well with the Dricus and the Israel Adesanya. It's called South African History X. Right? Look it up on my live section. You guys are going to enjoy it. And also, don't forget to take a look at my video that is being uploaded right now that talks about the psychological and the technical aspects of Islam Makhachev and Dustin Poirier. By the way, I'm sorry to say it could be very highly offensive, especially if you're not Muslim. But unfortunately, that's just what it is. That's just my God-honest opinion. Do you want me to tell the truth? Or do you want me to lie and give you guys nothing but sweet, sugar-coated statements? I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is give you the realness, give you some realness of everything that I feel, but also some objective truth. while also giving my subjective opinions on certain subjects. So I hope you guys like and subscribe. I got about a couple of minutes left before I leave this particular channel, and just right before the premiere of the video. But check that out. It's going to be uploaded soon. And check out all the videos that I have. And thank you for all those that have subscribed and have supported the channel, and to all those that continue to come and tap in with me every morning. Tomorrow, I don't know if I'm going to be doing a live, obviously, because tomorrow is Eid. I'm going to be at Eid. Maybe I'll go live for that if you guys are interested in seeing the mosque in my community and whatnot. I don't know if I'm going to talk much MMA, but I'm going to give you guys a bit of some looks on what we have going on in the Sacramento area. So once again, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you guys soon, and thank you for all those that have tapped in with me, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and an Eid Mubarak to everyone around the world. Don't forget to watch this from the very start to the beginning, and I will see you guys soon. And then our South African brother here said, subjective opinions are always welcome. Hold on a second. What did he say here? Subjective opinions are always welcome as long as they are not shared with bad intentions, but rather share a different perspective. I'm glad you said that, because I'm going to tell you what I said in that video that you guys should expect at 8 a.m. Western time in California's time zone, right? That's going to premiere soon, probably just a little over after 8 o'clock. What I said in that particular channel, or what I said in that particular video, is that there's just a certain lifestyle of discipline that Muslim fighters have that maybe others don't have. And I'm going to break that down in terms of Dustin Poirier in relationship to his upcoming fight with Islam Makhachev. I think you guys would enjoy it. Obviously, there's no bad intention in that. I'm just speaking the truth. And we see the truth in that. You see how dominant a lot of the Muslim fighters are. Just like Dricus du Plessis, he's a very dominant fighter because of the fact that the environment that he's in lends itself to a very conducive situation of him, let's say, having, having a high elevation. That helps a lot. Him training in the heat. This is also the reason why he may look awkward in the way that he fights, but man, his physical attributes really lends itself to being a dominant fighter and also being a successful fighter in the way that he fights. I know that he usually gets a lot of criticism for not being so technically savvy, but the reality is this brother right here has all the ingredients to be a champion as a result of that. So this is something we have to take into full consideration with that. So again, this is the objective takes that I can give you guys when it comes to the realities of fighting, when it comes to the realities of these fighters that are in front of you that you see on a daily basis, and also just a breakdown of things that other people may not be able to see. So either way, again, don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this content. I hope you guys enjoyed all the videos that I've done, all the live streams that I've done, and I hope you guys stay around for the next content and the next time around. And I'm going to be dropping more content sometime this week, maybe even during the day. But don't forget to check out my video that is coming out at 8 a.m. or a little close to it, depending on how long, because, you know, YouTube sometimes takes a long time to really upload their videos. Obviously, they have to process through the HD and whatnot. Alhamdulillah, Magawaza said, are you Muslim, brother? Let me know on the comment section below if you are Muslim and whatnot. So, yeah, so I can get an idea of who you are and whatnot. But shout outs to South Africa, brother, please. Also, don't forget to spread my content to people around South Africa. I really would love to build a South African audience. So maybe one day I could go and interview Dricus du Plessis and maybe interview some of his upcoming fighters that are part of that region, because I got to tell you, man, I'm sure there's a lot of talent in Africa aside from Dricus du Plessis and Israel Adesanya and Francis Ngannou. It's a growing mixed martial arts community, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people out there that will be very helpful and instrumental, and will definitely share around. He said, thank you so much, But at this time right now, I have to go check out my video at 8 a.m. Well, it's 8 a.m. right now. It should be popping up soon. It's currently just uploading, and I will see you guys soon, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh, and I'll see you guys on the next one.